Now let's look at number 35. And we're finding the measure of each angle, and we're rounding to the nearest tenth. Okay? Now, when you're finding angles, you're going to use the inverse functions on the calculator. So let me go through those here first. You're going to use inverse sine, and it looks like a little exponent of -1, or you're going to use inverse cosine. So it almost looks like sine to the negative first power, or cosine to the negative first power, or tangent, inverse tangent. Those are called inverse functions on your calculator. Okay, and they are right above. The inverse sign is above the sign button. It usually involves a second key or a shift key. Okay, and they are always used to find angles. So angle measure is uses inverses to find them. So what you're doing is, if you look at 35, there we're trying to find that angle right there, theta. Look at the two sides you're dealing with. This is opposite, and this is adjacent. So I'm dealing with opposite and adjacent, not the hypotenuse. So think about the trig functions that are opposite and adjacent, and that's tangent. That's the TOA part of that. So I'm going to say the tangent of theta is equal to the opposite, which is 10, over the adjacent, which is 15.9. Okay, now, to solve this and figure out theta, this is what you do, and this is the way you want to write it. Theta is equal to inverse tangent, so tan -1, and then this goes inside there. So you just type in 10 divided by 15.9. Okay? So on the calculator, you're going to get to the inverse function, which usually that'll involve that second key, and then it'll give you a left parenthesis, and then you put 10 divided by 15.9 in there. And then you're going to hit equals, and it'll give you theta, the angle measure, and that should be about 32.2 degrees, round off to the nearest tenth. And then we're going to go to 41. '41 is the same thing, except for now they don't put a theta in there. I'm going to call it angle A. There's a question mark there. I'm going to call it angle A. So we're trying to find angle A. And again, we're going to look at the two sides we're dealing with. According to that angle, or in relationship to that angle, this would be the hypotenuse, because it's across from the right angle. This would be the adjacent leg, because it's next to the angle with the hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse, if you think of the SOHCAHTOA, that's the CAH, so we're going to use cosine of the angle, and I'm calling it angle A now. I don't want to use a question mark in there, so cosine of angle is adjacent over hypotenuse, so 16 over 39. To find angle A, we are going to do inverse cosine, and then again, this goes inside there, 16 over 39. 16 divided by 39, then hit equals on your calculator, and A is approximately, and now this one says round to the nearest degree. Many times with angles we go to the nearest degree, but the last set of problems said go to the nearest tenth. So we're going to say that's about 66 degrees if you do that on your calculator.